Welcome to Compai's Expat Channel. I'm Compai. I am Susua's voice of reason. A lot of people have bought investment properties to do Airbnbs, to get into that real estate rental market. It's a different beast now, guys. A lot of things have changed. We have an economy that's slowing down. You don't have as many people who can pull money out of the United States and Canada to be able to come down here and buy property.
There's a lot of places to rent in Susua. If you're looking for peaceful, affordable, and tranquil, look at Casa de Compai, Susua's hidden gem. When you're ready to reserve at Casa de Compai, my contact information is in the description down below.
There's some really strong positive things going on, and I see there's some very strong negative things going on. Then what I see for the rental market, I see there might be a really good opportunity for things to improve, because I don't see as many people purchasing properties as before. Not everybody who has money, they're not spending it. And there's too many people that don't have enough of it. So there's less of the money to go around. So I see people just not buying. And you're seeing consistently over the last year, fire sales here, price reduction, move this, move that. Now's the time for the investors to jump in the market. I did it myself. I just picked up another villa. So how is this going to shake out for the rentals? I think with less people buying, there's going to be more people renting. What I think is going to happen as things turn for the worse in America and Canada, and people start realizing inflation's too much, I'm not making enough money, I'm spinning my wheels, the people of the next economic bracket are going to start making the move. And they're not going to buy, they're going to rent. Because the people who are down here with the vacation rentals are going to have an opportunity to do a lateral move into more of a long-term rental market. Because I just see people starting to get out of the States, and Canada, because it's just too expensive. It was too expensive for the retirees, but I just see it being too expensive overall, especially if you're coming out of a blue state. You're just taxed to death. I'm from Jersey. It's one of the reasons I'm down here, because you can make money in Jersey. You just can't keep it. That's the problem. So to be able to make some profit down here with the vacation rentals, first off, they're already shaking out right now. The weak ones are already falling by the wayside. This is not really the time for people to jump in the market as far as vacation rentals right now. Maybe in the future. We just don't have the numbers. And if you're that one listing on Airbnb, even though Airbnb removed so many listings off its platform, there's still thousands there. And you're just one of thousands. And trying to get at the head of the line, it's easier said than done. It's all about marketing. It's all about branding. And you're competing with guys like me who own a whole condo complex, who are able to do things uniformly. I can say, you know what, I'm going to drop all my prices, or I'm going to run a bar special because I got the cigar lounge and bar. I have different opportunities and different resources to bring in clients. Where if you're just that one condo in a condo complex or that one villa in a gated community, you don't have that. So I think these people are going to have an opportunity to make a lateral move into people who are just going to cash out of the States and just say, you know what, we're done. We're going to do our best to live off of $3,000 American a month, $4,000 American a month. And that's what I see coming down here. And they're going to come here because Sosua, Cabarete, even Puerto Plata has a strong enough expat community where people who are not really in tune with moving overseas will still feel comfortable enough to move here to do it. So I think sales are going to slow down on the North Coast, but I think after a period of time, rentals are going to be very good. They're going to pick up just because of the exodus coming out of Canada and the States, because people are not going to be able to sell their properties. That's a big problem right now, and it's happening in the States, and everybody wants to talk about it, but it's coming. God forbid if the stock market finally corrects. That's a whole nother subject. But if you're going to be doing the rentals down here, you got to think of a way to market your property outside of the booking online platforms, Airbnb, VRBO. There's just, those markets are saturated. You have to be able to go outside of that and draw your client base. That's where most people are getting it wrong. They think the days of just doing an Airbnb listing and making money, they're over. And think about it, guys. Where's all the people that were telling you how to do that 18 months ago? Where's all the YouTube content creators just out of Sosua who are saying, this is my next project, this is how I do this, this is how I, where are they? Most of them are not down here doing business. I've seen more failures down here than I've seen success stories, unfortunately. It's coming to a point where you need to be extremely good at social media, marketing, and networking. And it's going to have to be more than just Facebook as well. You really got to be out front of this. I think for the investors, the time is coming. We are so close to some real good buying opportunities, because I think a lot of these guys who did buy the Airbnb lie, who listened to the real estate agents, who said, yes, you can make a 10% rate of return on investment down here. You can do this. You can, and for a lot of people, it did not turn out. A lot of them were too late to the dance. They bought when things are too high. A lot of them bought on credit down here. They have mortgages back in the States. So there's going to be some really, really good opportunities down here to pick up some property. This is one, it was very similar to this when I started coming down here economically. Things were slowing down. People were reducing rates. This is when the investors are going to come in, and now you can really get into the market. Now, if you're thinking about doing some kind of rentals, given the political situation in Sosua, given the desire of the local community to change how their town is being represented online and in person, doing the old business through Airbnb, VRBO, and all that, given the market base that a lot of people rent to, those days are done. If you really want to come down here and be successful at rentals, you need your own little compound where you can control everything. You can control the theme, the narrative, the layout. Basically, you need to be able to do everything that your clients want to do privately. The days of going downtown and doing things publicly are over. You can still go downtown, you can still meet people, you can still have fun, but it's no more, give me your WhatsApp. You're not going to have the congregation there of the ladies to be able to do it. It's not going back. So that means there's a hole in the market. If you can ride that line, if you can offer a rental without going into those other services, because you do not want to do that, you have an opportunity to make a lot of money. You just have to do it correctly. That's going to be the new vacation rental direction. That's where I think the real money is going to be made. Now, for those of you who ask, well, John, why don't you do that in Casa de Compai? Because I don't need to. I've been doing this for 16 years. I have a client base built up over 16 years. I marketed my property in a different way. I'm downtown, right? I still got to, there's certain things I can and can't do, and there's certain things I just won't do. I took the direction of doing the cigar lounge / bar to be able to increase my market share during these slow times. But if you get something outside of town, other side of the highway, out in the middle of nowhere, where you don't draw attention to yourself, that's the new market for vacation rentals. And you'll get the most bang for your buck as well. So guys, that's just my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't want to be that investor who's coming down here buying one single condo, 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath. Unless you plan on using it yourself and it's for another goal than just rental income, you'll be fine. But the time of buying real estate property down here just for vacation rentals, to be that guy, it's over. You're not going to get the rate of return. You better be prepared to hold on to that property for a long time and to maintain that property, because the numbers just aren't like they were. And guys, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I don't want to see people make a bad investment, lose money, and then you guys be the next fire sale. I would rather say, hey, things aren't like they were before. It's a different ballgame now. And if you look who's actually doing well, they're the guys who have a very strong YouTube presence, and they're able to market a concept, a brand, not just one condo. So guys, that's my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt, and always remember, keep private personal and personal private. Peace out.
There's a lot of places to rent in Sosua. If you're looking for peaceful, affordable, and tranquil, look at Casa de Compai, Sosua's hidden gem. When you're ready to reserve at Casa de Compai, my contact information is in the description down below.